I would love for you to share, because I know you know about this and you're passionate about this.
Yes.
What happens when we die, and if we see our loved ones again? And if you could also share a bit about soul families, because I have many people writing me asking, oh, can you have some more details on, you know, our soul contracts? Will I see my boyfriend, my lover, my, you know, my twin soul again?
That's going to be, I'm just finishing my 3rd book, and then that's going to be my 4th book. It's basically finished, but I've got to get it in order. What happens when we die? So this will be coming out for everybody to read. What happened was my uncle passed, and I wanted to know where he was. I just thought, I'm just going to find out where he was. I've never done it before, and I thought I'm going to find out where he is. So I'd already been introduced to the Crystal Palace. Lots of people know it's Crystal Palace. It's a esoteric celestial structure which holds all the layers of the angel realms, heaven as we know it. You know, they call it the reality layer. It holds all the layers of the source of the universe. And unbelievably, I went there and got taken there. So I said, can I please see where my uncle is? And so my guide and an angel who I didn't even know, didn't have a clue who they were, because I didn't really know their names. I didn't know anything about them at that point, said, yep, come with me and we'll show you. So what happens is, as soon as we pass, now the most important thing to know is, it doesn't matter if you pass in a road accident really quickly or you're laying in bed for weeks. It doesn't matter. You will never, ever be alone, ever. Okay. So what I mean is, spiritually, everybody knows your day that you're going to go up. Destiny date is set. Okay. So when it's set, your spirit people, like your loved ones up there, whoever they may be, friends, family, and your guide will come down to get you with Azrael, Archangel Azrael. Okay. Now, he's the angel that presides over a soul passing, but also brings comfort and peace and a coping mechanism to everybody around the person that's passing. Okay. This is where we get reports from hospice nurses about the death stare and someone going, mummy, or there's an angel in the corner, because they actually are seeing what is real. Okay. And they've always got family members there. So their soul transitions from the physical body, a bit like Ghost. You know the film Ghost with Patrick Swayze? Love that film, funnily enough. So your soul comes out of the physical body, and it is met with the frequency or the layer Azrael. This is the #1 question I get asked. How can Azrael be everywhere at the same time? Because he's not a person. He's a frequency, a layer of sentience. So his energy can be anywhere, anytime throughout the world, in millions of places. Okay. So what happens is that in the frequency of angel realms, they show us an imagery that we recognize. So if we see an angel with wings, we recognize it to be an angel, right? I see angels are normally about 8-9 foot, blue, beautiful blue eyes, white blonde hair. Seraphim have got dark hair, and they don't normally have wings, but hey ho. So they will show their imagery to identify themselves, just as your loved ones will. Remember, they're spirit beings, but they will show an image that you recognize, right? So you'll have all your family around you, plus your physical family around you. The soul, from your perspective, if you're the person watching the person pass, that soul will acknowledge everything you say at the deathbed, everything you do, who's there. They also can choose what time to go and who is to be there and who isn't. So if you missed the passing, they didn't want you to see them take the last breath. If I had a penny for every single person that said to me, I only popped out for a coffee for 5 minutes and they passed, I'm like, that's because they didn't want you to go through the trauma of seeing that final passing moment. Okay, so that's important for people to know as well. So whether it's a murder, suicide, whatever it is, they are never alone. Okay. The other thing that is important to know is, because I was a murder investigation detective, I get lots of murder victims come to me, hundreds, thousands over the last 30 odd years. And basically they say to me, come here, look what happened to my body. They are never in their physical body when the trauma happens. So if you are, sorry to get so dark, but if you talk about someone perhaps who's been kept for a few days and awful things have happened to them, they don't feel it. They're out of their body. They're watching it as a third person. Okay. So they don't go through it. So many murdered children, all of them say, it doesn't happen to us. We're out of it. We're taking away from the trauma that happens to our meat suit, our overcoat, whatever you want to call it. We then travel up with Archangel Azrael that takes us up, and he takes us to a frequency that is ruled, connected with, run by Archangel Jeremiah. Okay, Archangel Jeremiah can show again whatever image you feel safe with. So, for instance, just say if you are Christian, he might change his image to Jesus. If you are a Muslim, he might change his image to Muhammad. Whatever your human belief system is at this point, he will create that image for comfort purposes. But I will be absolutely clear now, categorically clear, that religion is a man-made concept. Love connects us to everything in the universe, including your loved ones. Religion doesn't. Okay, so you go up, Archangel Jeremiah then takes this bundle. This is how I saw it. My uncle was like this bundle of light passed over from Archangel Azrael, and he's taken to this like spirit hut, which I eventually saw one built in Thailand. It's very similar to the spirit huts that they build. And he was laid out on a plinth. It was like this ball of light, then it's this flat bit of light, and then slowly his image started to create itself. So I recognized his features. He then sat up and he walked out of the hut with Jeremiah, and I said, "What's happening now?" And Jeremiah said, in this beautiful purple haze of energy, "I'm going to do his life review." So this is the time where you then have your review with Jeremiah, and it obviously, I'll talk about soul contracts in a minute, but basically he will go through your life in milliseconds. Right here, it could take years, but you know, there's no time up there. It's not relevant. So milliseconds, he will go through your whole life, what you adhere to on your soul contract, what you probably broached, what you may need to work on a bit if you want to come down again in another life, what was really good, and everything was great. If you've got a baddie that is either killed, maimed, hurt, anything, animals, planet, person, whatever it is, they are not taken for a review if the energy is that heavy and dark that they literally have created mayhem. They're taken to a place called the cherubim chamber. Now, I have to make it clear at this point that I've taken hundreds, again, thousands of students to the Crystal Palace, and they've walked into the cherubim chamber in their own right without me telling them anything and seen it. So this has been backed up by thousands of people, the places I'm talking about, which is great for me because I thought it was my imagination. And then it started, you know, people started saying, "Oh no, I've been there." And, you know, lots of brilliant philosophers have written about it. So I know that it's all true. The cherubim chamber, I'm going to get a bit biblical, is a white pool. There's cherubim, beautiful chubby cherubim all around the room in golden gilt. You walk into the pool and they showed me a black soul. And they said, "This is what happens if it's a black soul." So let's talk about someone perhaps like Hitler. Okay, so just say he walks into the pool, he lays down, and I actually laid down next to this soul to go through it. They were showing me what happens. And then as you're laying there, these little tadpole things, and I said, "What are they?" They said they're sentients, and they were bright luminescent colors, and they were going in and out the soul, and they were reading the soul. As this was happening, the cherubim manifest from the walls, come down to the pool. Now, if you're a good human and you're just having a little bit of just having a look at your soul, they stay really cheery, right? But this is a black soul they were talking about, the ones that have done very, very bad things down here on the planet. Their heads turned to lions and oxen. I'm like, this isn't great, right? And then what happens is that they said the sentients mirror the actions, behavior, and words done by the soul and deliver it into the water. So nobody judges a soul, you judge yourself, and you bathe in your own karma. So I watched, as it was like nothing, perhaps it is a depiction of hell. I watched this soul, it was bubbling like black tar. The pool turned to like this black tar, and it was bubbling like a big furnace, like a volcano about to erupt. And this soul was getting ripped to pieces. And basically it was going through what he'd given out to other people a millionfold. I can't even begin to quantify or explain how horrific it is for a soul to face what they're evil doing.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.